Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will be taking a deeper look at vaccines. Okay, let's start. What is a vaccine? Well, a vaccination is a simple yet effective way of protecting you against harmful diseases before you come in contact with them. It utilizes your body's natural defenses to build resistance to specific infections and strengthens your immune system. In addition to this, vaccines can help stop the spread of disease. Now let's take a look at a brief history of the vaccine. The first successful vaccine was created in the late 1700s by Dr. Edward Jenner in the exact year of 1796. The vaccine was only created after scientist Benjamin Jesty proved true that cowpox, a milder version of smallpox, can indeed help protect people from smallpox itself. This vaccine was later tested on 8-year-old James Phillips, who remained in perfect health. Since cowpox had a major role to play in the creation of the first ever successful vaccine, the word vaccine originates from the word cow, vacca, in Latin. Now let's take a look at some commonly misused terms. First, starting with the word vaccination and immunization. The word vaccination is the process of receiving a vaccine. The word immunization is what happens in the body to protect against whatever illness you are vaccinated for. The word antigen is a foreign substance in the body. The word antibody is protein produced to fight an antigen. Let's take a look at how vaccines work. All vaccines work by imitating an infection, causing the body to engage in natural defenses. All vaccines have an active ingredient, antigens. As defined previously, antigens are a foreign substance which induces an immune response in the body, especially the production of antibodies. So that goes to say that antigens' main job is to trigger the production of antibodies. Now let's look at types of antigens in vaccines. First, we have weakened or killed bacteria or viruses, bits of their exterior surface or genetic material, and lastly, bacterial toxins treated to make them non toxic. Let's take a look at immune responses. We have the primary and secondary response. Let's start with the primary. Antibodies attach to antigens in vaccines by a lock and key mechanism, where the specific shape of an antibody's binding site precisely matches the site on the antigen. As you can see here, these are the antibodies and these are the antigens. The shape of the binding site on the antibody is called the paratope. The shape of the binding site on the antigen is called the epitope. Once these shapes match up, it allows them to bind together tightly, essentially like a key fitting into a lock. This binding occurs because vaccines introduce a specific antigen that triggers the body's immune system to produce antibodies, specifically designed to recognize and bind to that antigen. Some key points about this process include B cells that produce these antibodies. When an antigen is introduced, B cells in the immune system are activated and begin producing antibodies that are specifically tailored to that antigen. Each antibody has a unique binding site that only recognizes a specific antigen, ensuring that the immune response is targeted. Y shape. I don't know if you were able to see it here, but antibodies are Y shaped proteins with the antigen binding site located at the tips of the Y, so right there perhaps. Memory cells. After initial exposure to an antigen through vaccination, the body retains memory B cells, which can rapidly produce antibodies if the same antigen is exposed again. providing long term immunity. The secondary response is much quicker, as when the body encounters the virus or bacteria again, it's able to identify it really quick. Your memory cells patrol your blood and are able to quickly respond to the familiar pathogen with a wave of antibodies. The invader is destroyed before it can make more copies of itself and make you sick. Vaccines aim to trigger your primary immune response and generate memory cells without making you sick. Vaccines are a very important part of our world and are certainly needed. Make sure to stay up to date on them. Goodbye.